last video, we looked at the free enterprise system as a free exchange of goods. We specifically used an example of a lunchroom where you traded something that your friend liked to eat for something that you wanted to eat. We noted how under a free enterprise system, our differences in how each of us value particular things allows us to both benefit from a trade. In many ways, this is exactly how the modern free enterprise system works. Typically in the United States, we use dollars as the transaction vehicle or currency. The benefits of using money instead of something else go beyond the scope of this video, except to mention a few advantages. Money is easily divisible. You can split it up and it retains its value. Some cultures use cows as currency, and if something is only worth half a cow, it can be hard to make a deal unless you really don't care if that cow is alive or dead. Another advantage of money, which is more important for our discussion on the free enterprise system, is that it is valued by everyone. In the prior video, we talked about doing a three-way trade, where you wanted to trade a brownie for a cookie, and to get there, you had to trade your brownie for a tuna fish sandwich that you then traded for that cookie. And that can be a lot of work. A much more efficient way of doing that might be able to use money as the placeholder of value. Instead of trying to find a path from your brownie all the way to Sally's cookie, it is one thing to do a three-way trade, but what if the only way to get there is via a 10-way trade? That is just going to be extremely time-consuming and not very practical. Instead, all you have to do is find out how much money Sally wants to trade for her cookie. Since money is generally desired by most people, it is likely that there is a price for which Sally would be willing to sell her cookie. If she just wants $1 for it, then all you have to do is find someone who is willing to give you $1 for your brownie. That person does not need to have anything else that Sally wants. Also, whether we are trading money or physical goods, the same basic principles of cooperation and everyone being able to still win apply. Sally is only going to do the trade if she values $1 more or at least as much as she values her cookie. Whether she buys or sells, she does so only if she values what she is getting at least as much as what she is giving up to get it. Perhaps she will use that dollar to buy a sandwich. Or perhaps she wants something that no one in the room has. But now, with money, she has the flexibility to trade outside of her immediate circle. Remember that adding money into the equation only serves to reduce the friction in the trades, by making it easier to match buyers and sellers. It doesn't alter the basic fact that many people can all win by participating in trading. Obviously, if no one in the lunchroom has any money with them, then it won't really help the situation. However, if even just a few people had a small amount of money, it would make trades much more efficient. By introducing money, you have the ability to make more trades. Also, you introduce the prospect that some people will be motivated not just to try to trade for one thing, but to try to trade for a bunch of goods, to get a bunch of different trades so that they end up getting a lot of good things. Let's consider the example that we used in the previous video, only this time we're going to add money into the equation. For the ease of discussion, let's also assume that everyone has $1. Let's also assume that you have that brownie and you would like a cookie, just like before. You personally value a brownie at 90 cents. And you also value a cookie at $1. To you, a cookie is worth more than the brownie. You could swap with someone and be perfectly happy. That's great. I swap, I feel like a happy person because of the increase. But is there a way that you could be happier and increase the satisfaction of others? Well, if someone else valued your brownie at $1.10, but you wanted $1 for it, you could sell it to them for $1. You would be happy because you got the dollar that's more than you thought, and they got something that to them is worth $1.10. So that's also going to give happiness to them. They also got something that they valued more. Then maybe you find someone who has a cookie, but they would be happy just to receive 75 cents for it. That's all it's worth to them. If you made the trade, you would have a cookie and 75 cents on top. Or, instead of spending all your money on that cookie right away, you may instead try to trade for something else that one person doesn't really want, but you know someone else who does. You could be the merchant of the lunchroom, buying and selling goods, and each time that you do it, you are giving the other person something that they would rather have than the thing that they currently possess. You could end up with a lot of money, and or items by the time it is said and done, because you're working out all the different variations in value between the different people. You would have to put in the work of finding what people want, how much they'd be willing to pay for it, but you would be rewarded for doing that. And in the end, it's true, people could be upset at some of their trades when they see how profitable you became, how profitable you were able to make it just by trading what everyone else wanted. But remember, at the time that every person made the trade, they only did it because they valued what they received more than what they paid. They had to at least value it as much, or they would not have done the deal. So what you see in these examples of a closed system, something much easier to deal with right now, is that even though the total wealth of the group as a whole did not change, everyone in the lunchroom stayed with exactly the same stuff as they had when they began, yet every person could still feel as if they had more than when they started, because the things that they now had, they valued greater than those things which they gave up. This is because not everyone values everything the same. Therefore, trading moves goods from a place of low value to a place of high value. The average value of the goods as assessed by those within the system doesn't change. It didn't change at all. But because those goods are now with people who value them higher, then the net perceived value of each person's goods has increased. This is the basis of the free enterprise system. You can make one deal or many deals with as many people as you like under whatever terms you both agree to. Everyone can come out as winners, but sometimes people feel as though they weren't winners, even though they willingly participated in the transactions. It is true that there are also times when people lie or deceive or trick a person into a deal that they wouldn't otherwise make. This is often where governments enact laws and regulation to restrict free enterprise to some extent. Most people agree that at least some part of deception should be outlawed, but the degree to which this should be done so as to not hinder actual good trades or increase the problem of false accusations is usually where a disagreement arises. So, in summary, in this video, we looked at the role that money plays in facilitating the free exchange of goods, and how it makes it easier for people to cooperate with each other by trading. We also saw that how in a free enterprise system, goods will tend to go from where they are lowly valued to where they are highly valued. In the next video, we will look at a basic example of how the labor market works and how we can trade our time/labor for other things that we value. Thanks for watching.